First of all, Om Shanti. I wish to thank everyone. I wish to thank innumerous Swamijis who has helped me in this journey. I mean, I can't name one. I would say whomever I read, I find it interesting. So I would thank each and everyone, rather, each and every individual who came into my path in understanding what this journey is all about. To start off with, I was not a religious person at all. I never believed in God or a concept of a God as Sachidananda. These are all alien to me. It so happened that I was. Please, how do I go down the slide, please? Is not slide is not going down. Yes. So it so happened in my life that I had to go through some of this, which is mentioned in the slide. I mean, everybody has to go through these challenges in life. We had pain, we had fear, we had anxieties, what to do, what not to do. Then suddenly, one fine day, I realized there are some people who have solved this problem. There are people who have not solved this problem. So I was trying to read through so many books, and one such book came to me, and it was a shocker. I mean, I was wondering, can such thing be possible at all? So, so that is why I choose this topic called wise and otherwise. It says the wise can solve all the problems. Now, this is a shocker to me. I mean, how a wise can solve a problem? I mean, a pain is a pain for everyone. I mean, a life is a life for everyone. Over a period of time, it's a distraction. Yes, I mean, a life will be distracted. How we can solve this problem? I mean, this is something which we were wondering. And in that time, I was reading so many books, including I was introduced to ISKCON, the Bhagavad Gita made by ISKCON. I was reading Bhagavad Gita of ISKCON. The first line sentence, it says, Bhagavad Gita in the sermon, Krishna says, the wise neither lament for the dead nor for the living. So this kept me thinking, what? I mean, how is this? I mean, wise can solve most of the problems while we are having this sort of a life. I mean, our life, I mean, if you see our activities today, most of the activities are summarized in this. We are breathing, and I mean, just to give you add to a joke, I have a friend. He says he's busy producing carbon dioxide and doing nothing else. I mean, yes, I mean, now what do we do? I mean, we are doing an act of breathing. I mean, we are enjoying good food. We are working. We are working for name and fame. I mean, is this real? I mean, why are we doing this? I mean, what life is all about? Is there any solution for this? At the end of the day, we have a destructive change in the body. Obviously, we have to go away. I mean, this sort of, I mean, kicking me on my mind. Okay, what is happening in this? What is happening in this universe? Is there anything real solutions? Or are we just talking? Or is Vedanta a concept? Or is all these books, all the self-help books is for themselves, I mean, for their self-help. It is not for us. I mean, if somebody writes a self-help book, it is a self-help book for him, not for us. So this is what I was looking at. I mean, I was wondering what exactly is happening in this universe. So then I realized slowly over reading many, many books, not just Bhagavad Gita, so many books I have read. And I realized that there are two types of life we have in this particular life itself. One is life in consciousness, and one is life in matter. So this is the first point which hit me very badly. It says that if you have your life in consciousness, then you can transcend most of the problems. I said, fine, fantastic. Then let me start listing my problems. So this is how the problems have been listed. So I thought these are all the problems. So it's pain, it's fear, it's worries, it's anxieties, it's sin. I mean, what about the old age and disease? Is there a solution? Is Bhagavad Gita a panacea for all these problems? So then I thought the list was ending. Then I had mental challenges as well. I mean, it's not just, these are all not just my challenges. It's everybody's challenge. We are having problems with memory. We are having problems with willpower, crooked mindedness, so much of attachment. attachment to wine, drinking, attachment to I mean, so many things, a passion, cares. We are still doing this. I mean, it is not that we are not doing this. Many of us do it. Many of us still continue to do this. And not just that, the problem still continues. So many people, I have seen so many people depressed, so many people indecisive, dishonest, hatred, carelessness. On top of that, everybody keeps advising me, or everybody rather, to develop your character as well, from shyness to boldness, from timidity to courage, laziness. I was wondering what exactly is happening. Is so much of confusion in life. I mean, is there a solution? First of all, I mean, is there a practical way? We talk about so many words: Satchidananda, this, that, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Or is there any solution, or we are just talking? This has been my quest. I've been wondering what it was. At that point of time, this is the first book. This is the exact format which I found. I have taken a photograph and putting it. This is the book which I have found, which says Sure Ways of Success in Life and God Realization. This book is a changer for me. And this is published by Swami Shivananda of Divine Life Society of Rishikesh. And this is where he, in the first sentence, in the first paragraph of life, he mentions that there are two types of lives: life in consciousness and life in matter. This is where has been stuck to me. I mean, it is still continuing. I'm exploring various other options of how we can solve the mystery of life. And I'm just projecting what other books I read. I mean, these are the initial books which I read. What is the goal of life, which we should have, dhyana yoga, concentration or meditation. And after the advent of internet, I started reading all the books which came along, all the audios, all the videos in the YouTube. I've been listening to continuously. I mean, again, Sarva Priyananda ji has been the favorite. Yes, we have been listening to Ramakrishna, Vedanta Society, and some knowledge has been developed in terms of God. I mean, this is again a confusion now. Rama, Krishna, I mean, the Saguna gods, and which we are talking about, Nirguna God. This is where it ended. It says life in God is solving all the problems. Again, I mean, this is a concept over here. If you look at Rama, I put the number down one, and I put Krishna, I put 16,000. So I am home. I'm sure you people will understand what these numbers are. These are the number of his wives. Okay. So I mean, how on what basis? I mean, we take, of course, 16,000. Having 16,000 wife will definitely consider him to be a god. So I mean, do we really need to worship him as a god? This was the, I mean, serious question to us in discussions of what we had. Or is this the concept of God or Krishna? And if you talk about Rama, Rama has been a failure throughout his life. I mean, he has been in the jungle for 14 years. He sent off his wife. I mean, on what person are we praying across for what? What? On why? And is this solve our problems? And again, Nirguna principle came into my mind. I mean, I was wondering what this Nirguna principle is all about. So I was trying to establish, because I was not convinced of the Saguna principle. So I tried to explore the Nirguna principle, and I realized, I read about many Swamijis who, in the similar tone of which I have shown over here, they said they solved their problems all over, So, like if you see Swami Turiyananda, he was able to operate himself without anesthesia. I mean, if you see all the pain, the worries, anxieties have gone off. How you could do it? Ramana Maharshi, he did the same thing. He says, yes, it hurts the body. Nothing could hurt him though. So I mean, how is these people able to think or even go through the stage that life is not matter and it's pure consciousness? This has been, I mean, a quest for me. I mean, to understand, and this has been striking me every day. Every day it strikes to me, how can a person think about only consciousness and not just matter? So that is where I said, who's wise? Wise is one who understands who they are, who could solve their problems. And of course, he will have a cool and balanced mind. I mean, I can never see a Swamiji angry or, disrespectful. And if he wants, he can have a successful and material and spiritual life. I mean, this is where I see one should head through. So I did my own analysis. With the help of all the books and the available fields with us as only ourselves and the universe. Now again, we talk about karma yoga, bhakti yoga, gnana yoga, raja yoga. I mean, honestly, are we doing anything? Please, let's think about it. We are born to a particular parents. We have been given the shape of this body. It's already planned by universe, you know. If you look at the digestion of the food, or even the thought process, and all the neurons has already been implanted in the brains by the universe. So what are we doing? We are not producing any bile juice or a gastric juice. The universe is doing all. So what exactly are we doing? Or are we really doing something? I mean, even as in today. Honestly, I mean, I don't think so. We are doing anything as of this moment. I only see that we are just in a cycle. We are just in a cycle which is created by the universe, and the universe is actually thinking through us because universe has implanted everything in us, and that is where the second point which I realized is the most important, especially in the meditation process. So the fact is that we are just a part and parcel of universe. That means we eat an apple and the apple becomes a part of us. So universe becomes a part of us. At the same time, we breathe out carbon dioxide, which is plants use that. And you see, it's a transaction happening over there in this world. So we are already in the cycle, which I term it as Maya. Uh, just to give an example, only yesterday my boss was speaking to me and he was telling me that I did a great job and I have to continue doing, get more business for the company and other things. If you see, actually, in the entire process, my boss is implanting his thought on me to work. So I'm actually doing for him, not for myself. So, but I'm feeling egoistic or feeling proud that I am doing everything, getting the business for him, and I'm responsible for so many crores of rupees or so many dollars. But the fact is, it is not the case. I'm actually working for somebody. I'm a slave. I mean, another example I would tell you, I have a friend who's very much proud of his dog. So every day morning he takes the dog out for walking, and the dog pulls him here, pulls him to the right, pulls him to the left. Now, this kept me wondering who's the master and who's the slave. If the dog pulls him to the right, he goes to the right. If the dog pulls him to the left, it goes to the left. In a similar way, I mean, if karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, I mean, is it also a sort of pulling us one way? I mean, we need to think about, is it also just a Maya or is it something else? So, I mean, apart from the universe, as I said, we are a part and parcel of universe, and we are universe. We have also, I've also done an analysis of, I mean, strong feeling which I did, and I am convinced that I myself am the consciousness which the literatures or the scriptures talk about. These are analysis which are prominent. I won't go into details. It's available in the internet, or everybody can. There are so many lectures in that. This is just a, I mean, in analytical way, concept of subject and object. Like this laptop is an object for me, and I am a subject. Whereas my eyes are the subject for my mind. Uh, Eyes are the object, and the minds are the subject. And similarly, my mind is an object for my consciousness. So this is how the analysis goes on in Drigdrishya Viveka, saying that we are consciousness. And similarly, Mandukya Upanishad tells us about the fourth state, like the walking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. All through the states, our consciousness remains the same. So we tend to believe that we are consciousness. Again, the impermanent and the permanent things from our childhood till today, we are talking about our consciousness being the same. Also, our ideas change, but the awareness remains the same. So this is where the entire gamut of my understanding of Vedanta comes in. We should not consider ourselves as a human being. We should consider ourselves as the entire universe and think this entire universe as pure consciousness, pure existence, and pure contentment. So this is where it helps in developing or solving most of the problems which we discussed earlier. And in conclusion, I would say, we are nothing but a pure analysis of pure consciousnness, existence, and bliss. So this is the conclusion. But what is the current state which we are in as of this moment? We, I would say, I'm using the word here awareness, which is derived through consciousness, and the matter is derived through existence, and happiness, we can say, derived through self-contentment. It is as if the uh, one principle is divided into three principles, and each one is acting on its way. And we are somewhere caught in between a relative existence and not a absolute existence. This is the reason for all the problems which we are having, or all the challenges which we are having. From the Brahman or the God point of view, only it exists. As I mentioned earlier, there are two lives. One is conscious, life in conscious, and life in matter. From the consciousness point of view, only it exists, intensely connected, like the sea wave or the wave of the in the sea. The sea is intensely connected to the wave. If wave thinks it is different, that is the karma of that particular wave. In the similar way, we also, from mind and intellect point of view, we feel that the world and the whole universe exists along with concomitant evils. So now we are having a battlefield with three layers of a battlefield. One is physically, mentally, and intellectually. We are having the challenges. What to do with this, so that we can reach a state of pure consciousness. In physical, we have to do yogasanas, pranayamas, so that we can keep it fit. Mentally, we are talking about concentration and meditation. Intellectually, we are talking Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, that is hearing, contemplating, and deep reasoning on this particular concepts of Vedanta will lead you to the pure consciousness. What did the wise do? Wise, I would like to introduce you to the concept of a whole thinking. They are intensely attached to the principle of consciousness. I would like to give few examples before I introduce to the concept of whole thinking. Like a pain in the leg is for the pain in the whole body. It's not just a pain in a particular leg and we take a tablet for the leg and look. No, it's for the pain and it's a discomfort for the whole body. Similarly, we satisfied in eating, it's satisfaction for the entire body or the entire being. So similarly, as a part and parcel of the universe, should we be selfish in thinking of ourselves, or should we think about the entire universe? This is where I thought we need to expand our consciousness. Karma yoga comes in. This, we do it every day. Our consciousness expands every day. When we sit in our car, we expand our consciousness throughout the peripherals of the car and drive it. Consciousness becomes a part and parcel of our consciousness. The car becomes a part and parcel of our consciousness. Similarly, can we extend this consciousness concept for the entire universe per se? This is what I want to introduce of my learnings in all the Bhagavad Gita or the various Vedantic concepts. If we start thinking like that, then everything falls in place like Bhakti Yoga. Automatically, if everything is us, how will we deal with other persons? What is the hatred? Do we hate other persons if we intensely feel that we are nothing but the entire universe? We will be gratitude. We'll have a sense of gratitude while dealing with others or things. Even simple matters like a book or a pen, we feel, it's a part and parcel of us. Now, the biggest problem is in meditation, which I faced, and I would like to share with you. There's no such thing as dead thoughts. And this is something I take away from reading of all the books. Suppose if we have anger, and if we want to say, eliminate this anger from our mind, how do we do this? We can we just say this thought is dead? No, it is not possible. So, there's no thought is dead. We have to include this thought also and transcend the thought. Like, we have to include all the good thoughts, bad thoughts, whatever thoughts comes into it, and transcend. Just like, for example, in a dream state, one thought can be an entire dream state. So when you wake up, all the dream state is transcended to the waking stage. Similarly, the meditation is the technique through which we transcend the thoughts, like dream is transcend to the waking state. This state can be achieved if we consider the entire universe as one concept and a conscious principle with a high intensity. Intensity is the key over here, which I have realized intense bhakti or intense jnana, which will automatically reveal outside. Intense bhakti is jnana outside. This is a line taken from Swami Vivekananda. When Swami Vivekananda was referring to Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna said, he said, Swami Ramakrishna has intense jnana inside, and outside he is extensive bhakti. And he himself is intensely devotion inside and jnana outside. So automatically it comes out, So that is what I see. And all this we are doing it for what? I mean, we are doing it for a simple grace. If you see over here, Vishwarupa, Sri Krishna did not transform himself. He bestowed his grace. Now, the concept of we ask, looking for karma yoga or aim of yoga, aim in life, having this, will it all make sense if God has to grace his Vishwarupa to us? This is the question which, I've been thinking over here. And yes, we have to do our job, and the God has to bestow his grace on us. And finally, I would like to leave this presentation with one more, this one line from Bhagavad Gita. It says, those who see action in inaction and inaction in action are truly wise among humans. So although performing all kinds of actions, they are yogis and masters of their actions. So this is something I leave for you people to think it over. I've been thinking over it. Yeah, every time I think I get different meanings on this. So, thank you for listening to this. So at the end of the day, what I would like to say is two concepts which uh, helped me move ahead, developing so many characteristics or achieving some problem or success in problems is the total meditation and understanding the entire universe as one own self. Thank you.